Hello, I'm Nayeli and welcome to my channel. Today, I will show you how to make a cake topper for a 9-inch cake in Cricut Design Space. So make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel. All items used in the video are in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with a clean canvas in Cricut Design Space. So if you have stuff on here, you just want to go to new and make sure that you have a blank canvas to start with. And now we are going to just go right into text. What we're going to do is I want to do Black History Celebration. Those are the words that I want to use. So I just type in Black History and then celebration. And I want to change the alignment, so I'm going to go in the upper menu where it says alignment and center. So I want it centered. Now I don't want to use this font. I want to use a font that's connected or close enough where I can like move if I need to. So something scripted or like a cursive. Now I looked in here earlier. I mean, there's several that I can choose from, but one of them I saw, it's called Bikini Babe, and that one looked like it was kind of cool to work with and might be a nice font for what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm just trying to find it. I think it's called DTC Bikini Babe. That's what it's called. So here we go. Right here. So I like this. I said I can work with this. So this is the font that I want to use. The first thing I want to do is I want to enlarge it because this is really small. So I'm just going to select the little resize in the lower right corner and make it kind of large. I'll get it down smaller or make other adjustments as needed, but this is what I'm going to work with for now. So while it's still selected, or if you click off, just click it again, I want to ungroup. It's going to ungroup everything and break it down to individual letters. That's okay because this B, as we're closer, does not attach, and I want it to attach. So I'm just going to slide it over, select it, and then move it over just a little bit. After I have black exactly the way that I want it, I'm going to do a left click on my mouse and drag it to select all the letters, and then I'm going to weld it together. So now that makes it one piece. Now if I wanted to, I could adjust it and move the other letters as needed, but that works for me for now. Now it's time to move on to history. Now I always have issues with this I. It doesn't detach, and that's okay because I'm going to show you my workaround because I do want to use this I. I don't want to just use a circle. So what I am going to do is go to shapes, go to circle, so I can subtract from that I so I can use it and move it. Just going to make it a little bit smaller and then hover over only, there we go, the I part. So now I have my circle selected. I want to hold down shift and click on the I. So now I have two things selected. It's the I in a circle. I'm going to slice it. All right, and now I can start moving stuff out the way. I can get rid of that. And then I don't know how many slices. I think there's 2 on here, and then get rid of it. Let me see if this is the last one. Okay, that's the last one. So now I can move it down. I did all of that so I can have it touch the eye. And trust me, I do this a lot because I don't want floating eyes. The less stuff I have to float, the better. So I'm just positioning it where I would like it. Everything else looks like it works except for this H. Let me get a little bit closer. I just want it to touch. Again, you don't have to do this. I just make different things and cake toppers. When I make those, it's just a lot easier when you can touch it, especially if I want to do like a vinyl topping on a glossy paper or a foil cardstock. It just makes the lifting and the transfer go a lot better. But again, it's your personal preference. This is what works for me. So now I just want to get that H a little bit closer because I do want to be able to have that flexibility to use the different materials and still make it look really decent. So now I'm just going to do a left click and drag over all of history and weld it. Now it's one piece. All right, time to move on to celebration. Same thing that we just did with the I, except for I think I need to move. You see how the R is kind of going over the A? I'm just going to select, I'm doing a left click and I'm selecting over the ATION, just moving it over just a little bit because I didn't want that little thing to peek out. Sometimes it gets funny. Then I'm going to move I might as well move the C right now. You can move it kind of like it's your own design preference. Everything is positioned. Now I need to do the subtraction, which is the slice again. So go up to shapes, get your circle, resize it down to a smaller size, and make sure it goes all the way over the dot on the I. Hold down shift and the I. Make sure you select the I and then hit slice. Awesome. Now we take out the parts one by one and delete. Take out the part, delete, so you're removing two and then bringing this down. You just kind of position it where you like it to be. Once you have it, you're going to do a left click, drag that window to cover celebration, and weld. See, the A had just went solid, so go ahead and undo that. What you're going to do is under the canvas in the menu up top, it's the undo button, so go ahead and click undo. See how that A comes out. So let me show you a little hack that I do. So I'm going to select everything. I need to remember, I'm going to write this down. The width of it is 7.776 inches. All right, awesome. Now I need to just make it larger. And now do the welding. It's still doing it, so I'm going to undo it. It's not large enough. So I'm going to select over it and make it even larger. For some reason, when you make it larger, it's not going to do that. So let's see if this is good. So now look, it went from 7.776 to 17.185. Let's see if this is the number that's going to work. Still not working. That's okay. I got to go big, a lot bigger. So now I'm at 28. Come on, weld. You're not working for me today. Let's see if I have to go even bigger, or I'll show you another hack, which I might have to do if this doesn't work. I'm going to weld it one more time. It didn't work. That's okay. I'm going to select it and get it down to the size that I had it. Normally that fixes it really quickly, but sometimes it doesn't work. In this situation, it's not working, and that's fine because I have another hack that I'm going to do that I can show you that will work. So now that I have the A, I'm just going to duplicate that A and then just bring it over here, and we're just going to do the same slicing that we did before. So I selected the circle. I'm going to reduce it down because I want that inside of the A. So now I'm just going to have the circle over the A. I'm going to click and select both of them and slice. So I'm just going to move stuff around so I can get what I need. And this is the one that I need that slice from. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a work, but I don't want that. I don't want it to be solid. So this is the only other workaround that I am going to be able to do. So once I get down to where, okay, it's sliced out, I need to go to contour. So while it's selected, then I just need to click on the two items so I can isolate the inside. All right, so I hit it. So now I got the inside. So I can go ahead and select celebration, do my weld. That's okay. I'm just going to go, let me change the color of this and move the layer up top so I can actually see where I'm placing it. Change it to red. And I'll place this where it looks good to me. Select everything, and now I just need to slice it out. All right, there we go. And now I have my hole. So that takes a little bit longer. Normally I can enlarge it and it'll do it, but this is fine. This worked just as well just little hacks. And now I want to move this down, get it a little bit tighter in here, move this up. Because again, we are making a cake topper. So I want it to be, okay, Black History Celebration. Okay, I think I like that so far. So now that I have this together, I want to do a left click and drag, and I'm just going to group these together. And now this is going to be the written part. So it's going to be Black History. Now I want to create a background for it. So to create the background, I just want to select everything and do an offset. So it can give me a nice offset for the background. Right now it's showing at 1/4. And I can use this, and you don't necessarily have to do a background, but I like to do these for the cake toppers. So I'm just kind of playing with it to see what I like. Normally the 1/2 or the 1/4 inch works good. You can do a 1/2 as well. So to me, I like that. I'm going to apply it. So that's going to be my Black History. And just you can change the colors as well. But before we do that, I want to select and just do a little bit of manipulation. So let me take the back and do contour. So this part's open, but I want to kind of close it. I don't want that to be open. And because sometimes it's a little bit of work, I don't want that to be open, that part. And let's go ahead and just close that part off as well. And then close it. Oops, I did the opposite. So really I wanted to keep that, and then let's see. There we go. Because I want this to be solid, and I want this to be solid as well. So let's see what we have. Okay, so this is the same. So I want to solid that one and then solid that space over there. So contour the 2 small parts. Bam, there we go. Just got to click on those and that'll be fine. And I also can click on this one to close that off as well. Let me see if it's going to let me do that. It should. See, I like how it comes together. And this one I kind of, a few things that I can do. I can add like an oval maybe, and this is just adding to it if I want to close that off. If I do a heavy cardstock, then it should be okay. I don't want it to be like a flag, but I want it to be like still kind of solid. So I can go into shapes, go into the oval, and then I can, kind of manipulate this some. I can unlock it and then kind of move it around so it still looks like it fits within here. The space, I think right there would be good. I'm going to change the color to black. And so I'm going to select that oval, hold down shift, and then the group offset from the layers. I clicked on that, and then I want to weld it together. Okay, awesome. Now I can go back and weld this part or weld that part together too, just to kind of close it up. Don't want any too many gaps. Again, this is a design preference. What I had initially would have been just fine. But for me, since when I make these, I want it to be nice and clean. And you'll see, it just gives it a cleaner look. And so the same thing, I'll just weld it. So that's welded. And then maybe this little part. So when you think about it, when it goes and cuts everything, I think I want that to be closed up too. So just go into shapes. I think I'll do like right here. And then I'm changing the color to black. So that, I think I like how that's going to look. Maybe I could even bring it out just a little bit more right there. Hold down shift. So now that the circle and the weld result that's reading in the layers is selected, and go ahead and weld. All right, now that I think I have the background just like I want, this is the one that's going to be cut on like a heavy cardstock or like a craft board, something of that nature. So I'm just going to select it, go up top to arrange and move to back or send it back. So that's how it's going to look. See, I like the clean look of the background. So sometimes you just, when you're designing in Cricut Design Space, you just work with the shapes and the tools that's within here, and you can still create a decent looking cake topper. All right, now what if I wanted to do like my red, gold, and green, or something, or red, yellow, and green? Let's see. I can select black. Where it says operation, the color is the square. So I want to select the red. And then I'm going back over to my layers. I'm going to select history. And I want to select like the yellow, or let's do like a gold. And then celebration, let's just go with a nice pretty green. So here is my cake topper, Black History Celebration. I'm going to go ahead and save this because I like how it's turning out. So I'm just going to go to save. I'm going to type in Black History Celebration, and I have different collections I started to put stuff in. So select the collection so I can save it. And whenever you're working in any type of software, always make a habit of saving stuff so that you don't lose it, because stuff happens in all softwares across the board. So Black History Celebration, perfect. So now I am ready to cut it. So I just go over to Make It. And I'm going to do everything on the mat. But if you have the Maker 3, you have the option of doing the sticker paper. Like for the Black History Celebration, I can use my sticker like cardstock and then just stick it on there, which is kind of fun. But for this one, I think I'll just go with the regular so everybody can see. So I'll do on mat, do everything on mat. And my black background, it's going to be like a foil. And then the other 3, I am going to do a vinyl. And what you can do is cardstock for everything and then just apply like glue or sticker so it can stick. I like something that's, a little bit simpler. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to do everything, but let's go. The only thing to do is to get it done on paper. And it felt very important to me that I be the one to tell my story. Don't worry, we'll get our Cricut up. Mr. Sorkin, this is Todd Kodak, your daughter's lawyer. No, it is that Todd Kodak. I'm not talking about Yoshi. So anyway, I'm not sure how much of the trial you've been able to catch from Germany. Я не знаю, как хорошо вам удалось следить за ходом судебного процесса из Германии, but I'm calling to see if you've reconsidered joining us in person. Я звоню, чтобы узнать, придете ли вы лично. I got that. Okay, so now that everything has been weeded, the Black History Celebration, now it's time to put it on the background, to the cake topper. So this is going to go right there, but before I do that, I have to put the transfer tape. So this is just a standard grip, but before I do that, let me size it down to the celebration. So you want it to be, the size are just a little bit larger. So I'm going to use this to do all of them, but I wanted to use the celebration because it's the longest to see. And all I'm going to do is just take the saw, and I could take all of it, it's fine. Take my scraper and then kind of rub so that it attaches. And what I do is I go at a 45 degree and kind of bend so that all of the red vinyl is on. Then I come right over here, make sure everything's cleared off. And I will place it where the offset, it's a 1/4 inch offset around. So right there, that looks good. Then you just press it. I do a finger press. Sometimes you can use your scraper, but that's normally enough. And if not, you can go back and just press it down and just slowly start removing it. It's that 45-degree when you take it off has always been a little bit more helpful, but be careful for like this. See, rub it. Maybe. There we go. So in that case, the scraper worked well. And there we go. Should have no bubbles. Black is done. Now let me get history ready. Just want to make sure it's pressed over. This one I will use a scrape down. Go at a 45-degree angle. And then peel back the backing. Let's go slow. Make sure everything gets picked up. And there we go. Wipe it down. Make sure there's no lint or anything in the background. And you're going to place this. See how the offset on the Y. And right there. Press down in the center. I'll just do one nice soft across. And then it's time to take it off. And I'm just going to go slow. All right, and for the last part, to the words is celebration. So the same thing, take the transfer tape, put it on top of the vinyl. Take your scraper, rub it down, and then all you're doing is going at an angle. Like it's the 45-degree angle normally is like what I've found the best to do when taking this off. And there we go. And for celebration, just make sure no fingerprints, everything looks good. And place this. I typically start in the center, go to the right, center, and then press down. That helps avoid any type of bubbles. And I'll just do a nice little rub. And then still slowly take it off. I don't want to tear it. I don't want it to rip. It can still be a little sensitive. And keep in mind, try to go at that 45-degree angle. And there we go. There's that part to the cake topper. Now time to add the kebab sticks and hot glue. Okay, now it's time to attach the kebab sticks. So what I have right now is my cake topper, and I want to see if, depending on how many layers you have, will be the height. So let's say if you have like 4 inches or 3 inches, depending on what it is, you might have to cut this down some. And these are just wooden kebab sticks. I typically cut it down maybe like a few inches. If I cut it down to 3, or maybe I'll cut it down 2 inches. So I'll take this. I'm using my grid on the background. And I said, okay, I'm going to cut it to maybe about here. So These can be a little bit harder to cut. You just kind of cut and then you could break it. And that's fine. I just kind of scored a little bit and then I break it. And then I'll do the same on this one. Make sure that I line those up. And I want to keep the pointy side. So not the pointy side because that's what's going to go on the cake. So like right here. And I just kind of do like a little bit of a score. And then I just snap it. And that's okay because the hot glue gun is going to cover and close that up. And then I just take it on the back. This is the back side. And I want to make it even. So I'm using my grid to kind of position where I want it to go. And I think right there is perfect. So I just come in maybe like, what is that? 1, 2.5 inches, 1, 2.5, and that works out pretty good. And then I just hold it in position. And then I'll put like the hot glue, like I said, so nobody hurts themselves on it. And then I'll just hot glue it in position. And then it won't move. And I'll just apply it a little bit to each side to keep it in place. That side is pretty much done. Now I'm going on to this side, get the top. Then you can, sometimes I'll do one side and kind of like roll it over so it like sticks. And then I'll do the other side. That's just reinforcement. It's not necessary, but at least I know it's not going anywhere. And it's the back of it, so nobody's going to really see it. They shouldn't. And once it's done, it's nice and dry. It doesn't take too long to dry. And there you go. Black History Celebration. You put it in a cake. This is about 8 1/4, a little bit over 8 1/4 inches wide. So a 9-inch round cake would be perfect. And the sizing really just depends on what size of that cake you're going to put it on. 8, 6, 12. It just really depends, up to you. You just go in, you know, 1 inch or 1/2 inch and have your cake topper. Thank you for watching. This is Naya Lee. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos.